I loved rock in the late 60s and early 70s, and I always dreamed of moving to Los Angeles. I didn't live that far away. Albuquerque, where I grew up, it's not that far. So right when I turned 21, my parents gave me a car, and I had a little money saved up, and I moved out here, and luckily the music scene here was pretty active then, and new wave, there was rock and there was new wave. Van Halen hadn't been signed yet, they were about to be signed. And, no, actually I'm wrong about that, they had been signed and their first record was out. But new wave was really big, and so when I got here I was able to start working right away. And I did some touring in the 80s, but I always wanted to be a studio musician because I liked the laboratory environment. And so I stopped traveling. I did a lot of tours with Rick Springfield when he was a star. Right after that, I chose to stop traveling and just concentrate on being a studio musician. And that's when I really started to build it up.
What got you with Springfield?
I did a record with Keith Olsen, who was one of the biggest rock producers at the time. And he had just produced Rick's first hit, and they were getting ready to do the second record, and he got me in to meet Rick, and I played on Rick's second record, and then I actually auditioned for the live band and got the gig. So Keith Olsen is the guy who got me Rick's gig.
When was that?
1983.
Yeah, because many people recognize you for a lot of your work with.
But before that, I actually got to play on a Bon Jovi song that was a hit for him called Runaway, and then a John Waite record too that was really pretty good. Can I go that long? Yeah, the solo, when Kurt Cobain showed up in Nirvana, the actual guitar solo became uncool. And so there weren't a lot of opportunities to play solos for the decade after Nirvana showed up. Now, actually, but a lot of people say because of the games, Guitar Hero, solos are actually popular again. So it's really nice to be able to break them out. I've been doing a lot of solos this year. Really for the first time since the early 90s. Yeah, it's been really good.
When you listen to music, what do you listen to?
I like a lot of the music that comes out these days. I like a lot of the bands like Muse and, like I said, Mute Math, Radiohead, Silver Sun Pickups. I like a lot of the solo artists like Sarah Bareilles and John Mayer. I like a lot of the country acts too. So I'm pretty positive about music these days. You have to work hard to find it. And there's a lot of stuff out there that maybe you don't want to listen to. But I mean, certainly the best eras of music are the eras that how do I say this? I mean, I don't know if music is as good now as it used to be. I mean, there's a lot of good music, but I feel very lucky to have been, 12 years old in 1970 when, some of the greatest music was out. Yeah.
What do you think about the melodic rock genre? There's many people associate you and Dan Huff and Luke Effer with that.
Yeah, that was an amazing time here in LA. I mean, certainly that was probably the last real heyday of studio work in Los Angeles. And the great thing about those songs and that music, the great thing about music in the 80s is that there were really no boundaries musically, and you could really, really be musical. And it wasn't all melodic rock. I mean, like one of my favorite bands was Go West. But they had like really flashy guitar solos and a lot of great keyboards, and so all the music of the 80s was really, really musical.
We have been doing 6 songs now with you here. What do you think of this kind of music?
It's still my favorite kind of music. Very, very progressive, melodic, interesting rock music. It's at times heavy, at times, dreamy and melodic. Yeah, I love it.
How many hours per day do you train nowadays?
It depends. If my schedule lightens up, I actually start practicing again. But I'm so busy at work doing sessions still that I kind of have to practice while I'm working. So I'm working most hours now. So I don't practice that much anymore.